Okay, let's do this. Here we go. Another Baal Shem Tov teaching. All right, we'll jump right in. I'll say how the Baal Shem Tov says it, and then get into my own understandings. So the Baal Shem Tov says like this. He brings down from Masechtas Chibud HaKever. I never heard of it, but it was interesting to see that there is a whole tractate on Chibud HaKever, which is a type of hell experience where the soul gets beaten by angels. Not the soul, the body gets beaten. If there was any physical indulgence and pleasure in this world, so before it can transition to the next world, they have to beat out all its pleasure, and it's a very painful process. It's called Chibud HaKever. And they bring there in the Masechta some ways to avoid this hell. One of them is if a person dies on Erev Shabbos, then they're spared from this Chibud HaKever. So the Baal Shem Tov asks very simply, very nice, pass away Erev Shabbos, but that is out of our control. So he says, so we have to dive in a little bit deeper. What does it mean? What does it really mean dying on Erev Shabbos? And he explains like this. When it comes to Erev Shabbos, it's time to detach from all our mundane activity that we do during the week. And when a person does that and goes into Shabbos without any of the stuff he was busy with all week, he's in Shabbos mode, that will spare him from Chibud HaKever later on. So, a couple of things here. For starters, for those that believe in Chibud HaKever, that it's some type of process that happens after a person dies, they have to get punished for their actions. I want to poke a few holes in that. In the whole concept of hell after you die and going through different experiences. So a punishment, as we know, in a human way, I think we got confused because humans like to punish when someone does something wrong. You need to get punished for it. Like if you were speeding, we have to pull you over and now give you a ticket to teach you not to do that again. By God, it's not like that. You're given free choice. So if you have free choice and God says, here's a list of things I want you to do, you have free choice, but if you don't listen, I'm going to punish you. That makes absolutely no sense. Number two, time is a creation that only exists in this world, this physical reality that we live in. There's time. Time is really just change. As the sun moves, we can measure like, oh, went from here to there in this amount of time. We're growing, we're getting older, so we measure time based on change, but time is really just a creation. So how is it possible that after you die, you're going to get punished for things you did before you died when there is no before and after in the afterlife? It's not a thing. You're leaving your body, it's leaving this physical world. Time doesn't exist there. So you obviously can't get punished after for things you did today. Rather, what I'd like to offer is that by God, when we say punishment, we really mean consequence. For example, if someone were to touch fire, they would get burned. You don't need to now receive an additional punishment so you learn not to touch fire. It just happens at the same time. You touch fire, you get burned, you learn, I don't want to get burned again, I won't touch the fire. There's no need for punishment. It's a very human quality to now take a person who's done something, suffer the consequences, and then say you also need an additional punishment for it. It doesn't work that way with God. So all this like, oh no, I better behave so they don't get punished later, I don't think it makes any sense. So what's happening? What does really Chibud HaKever mean? What does it really mean? So it means like this, like the Baal Shem Tov is saying, letting go on Friday afternoon of all your attachments of the mundane. You're going into Shabbos now. You don't need your business. You don't need your financial worries. You don't need your TV shows. Whatever you're attached to during the week, disappear. We let go of it. And we're going into Shabbos mode where we're in a state of connecting to Hashem. We're in a state of more spiritual state, family, whatever it is for you. We're going there. Whatever we do during the week, we leave behind. Now, that happens on Shabbos in a it happens constantly, this Shabbos idea. So every 50 years, you have that Yovel year, that whole year that you take off. Every 7 years, you have a year that you take off called Shemitah. Every year, I'm not sure in the year time, but you have every month, you have a day, you have Rosh Chodesh. Every week, you have Shabbos. Every day, perhaps, you have an hour, and in every hour, you have a minute, and in every minute, you have a second, and in every second, you have milliseconds. And to get into that way of living is not that Shabbos is not just on Friday I let go and I go on this, but and that's my whole that's my whole letting go only happens once a week, but rather every day I take an hour and let go of everything, of all my attachments to this physical world, and in every moment I can let go a little bit. Or maybe it's not letting go of my physical attachments, but what is not important for me right now. So like if I am in work mode and I'm starting to obsess about something that doesn't belong here, it's time to like have that Shabbos experience where I let go of that and focus at what is present for me right now, not on all the other stuff that are distracting. So I get to do that all the time, constantly. But if I'm clinging to something constantly, then I have to experience Chibud HaKever, where that thing starts to cause me pain. It's causing me pain, but I don't want to let go. So the angels keep beating, they keep beating. Like, soul, it's time to let go of the body. We're leaving this experience. And then the soul is like, but it was so much pleasure down here. I don't want to let go of this body. Okay, well, start to experience the pain that this body is going to cause you. Are you ready to let go? Until the person is able to completely shake off the body after his death and allow the soul to detach completely from the body, letting it go, understanding that he's moving now and transitioning into a new realm, from the physical into the spiritual. And that's something that we want to do constantly, not just on Friday, and it's every day and it's constant. What do I need to let go of today? What do I need to let go of today? What do I need to let go of right now that's actually causing me pain? So that's my understanding of Chibud HaKever. It happens here. While we're on the topic, we'll throw in there's also Kaf HaKela that people like to quote. After you die, the soul gets slingshotted from this side of the world to the other side of the world. What does that actually mean? After you die? No, you experience it here in this world. Everything's experienced in the now. There is no later and there is no before in reality. Time isn't a real thing. It's imaginative. We base it off very physical ideas, but time and spirituality is all the same. It's all at one. There is no before and after. And so when we experience Kaf HaKela, that's when a person is in a state of, he goes from high to low. He has no balance in his life. He's riding a high, and the next moment he's completely thrown off his game, and he's experiencing the low. Depressed, happy, depressed, happy. You find that with like addiction a lot. You're in a state of like, oh, I'm sober, I'm in control, I'm doing great. Then I mess up. Oh, I need to be miserable now. And then I get out of it, and you're constantly going from high to low, high to low. It's a super painful experience. There's no peace. Even your highs are just like, okay, when is the low coming? You're never at peace. You're always just slingshotted, literally, from like mood swings, from this one to that one. That's an experience of Kaf HaKela that's extremely, extremely painful. And it happens here. It's not somewhere else. Everything that exists is in the now. There is no later, and there is no before. It all happens at once. So, while we're on that topic. Anywho, now, let's, like I gave that introduction. So, who experiences, and there's another piece, trying to connect here with the Rasha and the Tzaddik. What does it mean, like, a Rasha experiences he's going to get punished, he's going to go to Gehinom. So when I'm in my Rasha state, like remember, the Tzaddik and Rasha is the same person. It's where is he right now in his state of consciousness? Is he aware of where he's at or not? A Rasha, the punishment for a Rasha, the Baal Shem Tov tells us, is that he loses his free will. So if he's out of control completely and he doesn't recognize why he's having a low. Because part of being human is the ups and downs of life. We could call it Ratzei V'Shuv. There's so many names for it, but life is up and down. We go up, we go down, we go up, we go down. And the Baal Shem Tov teaches us that when you go down, it's for a reason. It's because there's some rectifying to do there. There's some spiritual cleansing that needs to happen in that space that you are. And when you notice that, you separate, like the low from being like a completely bad experience to like what is here for me to learn, what is here for me to accomplish. And once I realize that, I now do what I need to do, the work that needs to happen, and then I go back. I go on my go back up and experience what it's like to be connected again. And then, again, we run into something. It's a constant up and down, up and down, up and down. So the tzaddik notices that. Like it says, what does it say? Sheva yipol tzaddik v'kam. A tzaddik will fall 7 times and then rise. But the Rasha falls, and in his falling, he thinks this is where it's at. There's so much pleasure here. I like it here. He loses the ability to recognize that his lows are there for growth, but he just wants to stay there. He stays there. He thinks that this is where it's at. This is where the pleasure it's at. And so at some point, it's going to stop serving him, and then you start to experience that pain, that all this, what you were attached to, the physical pleasures of this world start to become painful, and it's time to let go. Rasha has a very hard time doing that because he lost his free choice. He became a slave to the thing that was causing him pleasure. Now he's a slave to it. And instead of it serving him, he's now serving it. A tzaddik recognizes that, wow, this thing isn't serving me anymore. It's time for me to let go. And so he doesn't have to experience that much pain. An example for that would be like if there's a baby in the womb, when it's time to come out, the baby lets go of whatever's holding it in the womb, comes out smoothly. If it decides, I just want to stay in the womb, then the process starts to become difficult. They start schlepping limbs, and we got to get this baby out. Not fun. So what the Baal Shem Tov is teaching us about this Chibud HaKever is that at times you got to let go. You got to let go. You constantly got to let go. So long something is serving you, keep it. When it stops, drop it like a hot potato. If not, then you experience that this thing is causing you pain now. But that's not a punishment. It's the best thing for you. Realize that this is causing pain. Maybe it's time to let go. Time to move on. Time to go to another realm. Yeah, that is what's up. That's what I'm talking about. I found this to be super powerful. Now, yeah, that's the thought of the day. And for the final announcement, I would like to take this opportunity to throw an advertisement for myself. If you like this material, you like this information, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, send it to a friend. And if you really enjoyed it and want to get deeper into this, you feel like there's something that maybe I can help you with, well, I'm going to offer my services as a coach. You can check me out at mendyp.com. or simply reach out to me at 347-845-8323. Thank you very much. Hope you all have a lovely, lovely day and an easy time releasing anything that isn't serving you, that's keeping you stuck, keeping you trapped, and causing you pain. If it's causing pain, let it go.